You will see that some of these are certainly unique. And we'll talk about them individually as best we can. The first one is my favorite. I just chuckle so much on this, and I'm going to see if I can hold this and show you this wonderful cow. We don't know who made it, and it's really quite large. You can see it against the size of my hand. But what's such real fun about this darling little thing is the clapper for this bell, and I've been given permission to touch these, even though we're not supposed to normally. I don't know if you can hear it. It's the cow's udder. Somebody had a real sense of humor. And then we've got this elephant. Let's turn him sideways. I think at some point in our lives we've all played with pottery and clay when we were kids, but some people just stayed children all their lives thinking up these things. Isn't that cute? And then here's a dog with a really happy look. And he's saying, please, yes, give me a yummy, mommy. And the clapper on this one is his tail. And there's this little chickadee. And the clapper on, whoops, where am I going? The clapper on this one are its feet. They must have had real fun making these things. I can't imagine that there are more than one of each, but again, all the time that went into making them, maybe there are several more. Don't know anything about this guy, but he's reaching out to hug you. And it's saying, ring my bell, so let's ring the bell. See if there's anything special underneath. Nope, just a little ball. Okay, now for the couple that brought this collection of theirs, these are two bells that were made by family members. This was the gentleman's sister's creation, and it's crocheted. And of course, it doesn't ring and make a sound, but it's even got a clapper inside. And this one, the coffee cup bell, it's made out of a paper, little everyday coffee cup. And it was made by their 4-year-old granddaughter. Isn't that sweet? And there's the little clapper, a little bell that'll ring. This next part of this, oh, here's a wedding bell that was made for them, and I'll tell you about the artist in a little bit. And this is when they had their anniversary in the year 2000. And isn't that pretty? We have to be careful with glass bells. We try not to pick them up by the handle. And let's see if I can get that focused. Look at that pretty clapper, and look at the looping. And this is all handmade. Now I'll tell you about the artist. They were kind enough to give us the whole story. We're looking at all of these little glass pieces that this gentleman made by hand. And here's the story. These bells are the creation of Daniel Edwards, brother of Glenn Edwards. He was a scientific glass blower for the chemistry department of Northern Illinois University from 1991 until his passing in 2008. He was the 1999 recipient of the Helmut E. Dreschel Achievement Award given by the American Glass Blowers Society. Daniel was responsible for creating much of the glassware used in various experiments in the chemistry department, and he created art-quality pieces during demonstrations and in his spare time. The art items sold went to pay for the chemistry club picnic in the fall, the senior banquet in the spring, and also various scholarship funds. So let's look at his creations. These don't ring, but they're in the shape of a bell, and he blew these himself and created the shapes and even made sure that there was a showing clapper. And here's another one, and he got color into that. if any of you have ever seen glass blowers at work, you know it's really, really fine craftsmanship. And here's one that he made. And inside we can see the clapper, little like teardrops. And here's one that's a flower. This arch bell was a door prize that someone won, and as she advanced in age, she gave it back to them so that they would have it. The bell does not ring, but it was the gateway arch. And then here are two bells, and this is, again, I have permission to do this. He created these clappers. Let me get the focus here without the, you see the loops? He did that all by hand, look at that. And I can't describe to you how light and thin these pieces are. They're not heavy at all. Very, very delicate. And look at the handle on this one, and that's an M for the woman Marge. And look at the twists on that handle. And again, this one doesn't have a clapper, that's right. But isn't that something? Look at the detailing. That's what's fun about bell collecting. As you'll see through this series, there's so many different styles and types, materials, designs, origins. It's just fascinating, and those are the things we talk about at the American Bell Association Annual Convention. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your time with us. Well, I'm not technologically savvy. I can't seem to get this to